The Keltharian Admiral Zixith had been warned about humans, but he dismissed the reports as exaggerated folklore. After all, what could a species barely 3 centuries into space travel do against the might of the Keltharian Empire, which had dominated this sector for over 2 millennia? The answer came in the form of what humans called proportional response. It started with Research Station Echo 7, a modest human outpost orbiting the gas giant Kepler 442b. 73 scientists, engineers, and support staff lived there, studying exotic particle formations in the planet's magnetosphere. The station posed no military threat. It wasn't even armed beyond standard meteor defense systems. Zixith had ordered its destruction as a demonstration, a show of force to discourage human expansion into Keltharian space. 3 heavy cruisers reduced Echo 7 to scrap metal and vapor in 47 seconds. 73 humans died. The Keltharian fleet expected the usual response: diplomatic protests, economic sanctions, perhaps a token military gesture. Other species had followed this predictable pattern for centuries. Humans, however, were not other species. Within 6 hours of Echo 7's destruction, every human vessel within 50 light-years began converging on Keltharian positions. Not just military ships, cargo haulers, mining rigs, exploration vessels, even luxury cruise liners. Each had been rapidly retrofitted with weapons that made seasoned Keltharian veterans nervous. "Sir," Zixith's communications officer reported, his scales pale with concern, "the humans are demanding our unconditional surrender." Zixith's mandibles clicked in amusement. 73 of theirs for thousands of hours? Do they not understand? Mathematics? What Zixith didn't understand was human mathematics. The first sign that this wouldn't be a conventional engagement came when human ships began arriving in impossible formations. Their vessels moved with a coordination that suggested shared consciousness, but intelligence reports insisted humans were individualistic to a fault. The second sign was the music. Every human ship was broadcasting the same haunting melody across all frequencies, something they called a funeral dirge. The Keltharian psychoanalysts had studied human culture extensively, but they'd missed a crucial detail. Humans didn't just mourn their dead, they made their deaths count. Admiral Sarah Chen, commanding the hastily assembled human fleet from the battlecruiser Vengeance, opened a channel to Zixith. "Admiral," her voice was ice-cold, "professional, you killed 73 people who were trying to understand the universe better. They had families, dreams. Dr. Martinez was 3 weeks from retirement. Lieutenant Park was expecting her first child." Zixith interrupted with a dismissive gesture. "War has casualties. Your species will learn." "No." Chen cut him off. "You will learn. We don't fight wars the way you do. We don't calculate acceptable losses or strategic advantages. When you kill our people, you make it personal, and humans excel at making things personal." The human fleet's first volley wasn't aimed at military targets. Instead, they systematically destroyed every Keltharian communication relay, supply depot, and navigation beacon within 100 light-years. Not a single Keltharian died, but suddenly the mighty Fourth Fleet found itself blind, deaf, and lost. Then the humans disappeared. For 3 weeks, Keltharian ships reported ghost contacts, phantom signals, and equipment failures that seemed almost supernatural. Cargo vessels vanished. Scout ships went silent. Entire patrol groups simply stopped reporting in. The humans weren't engaging in traditional fleet combat. They were hunting. Captain Rendall of the cruiser, Dominant Fang, was the first to understand what was happening. His ship had been part of a convoy when human raiders struck. But instead of destroying the vessels outright, they disabled them, boarded them, and left behind a single message. For Dr. Martinez. The next ship found, for Lieutenant Park. Each of the 73 names was being methodically honored. The psychological effect was devastating. Keltharian crews, accustomed to straightforward military doctrine, found themselves facing an enemy that treated war like a religious ritual. Human ships appeared from nowhere, struck with surgical precision, and vanished before reinforcements could arrive. By the 5th week, Zixith's fleet was in full retreat, but the humans weren't interested in letting them go. The final engagement came at the Nexus Station, the Keltharian Empire's primary command center in the sector. Zixth had called in every available ship, over 300 vessels representing the most advanced military technology in known space. The humans arrived with exactly 73 ships. "You see," Zixth broadcast to his fleet. "They're as stupid as they are emotional. We outnumber them 4-1. Admiral Chen's response was transmitted on all frequencies. "Numbers don't matter when you're fighting for something that matters. Today, every human ship carries the name of someone you murdered. We're not here to win a battle. We're here to teach the galaxy a lesson." What followed became known as the Battle of Reckoning. Human ships fought with a ferocity that defied tactical analysis. They took impossible risks, performed maneuvers that should have killed their crews, and coordinated attacks that seemed to violate the laws of physics. When the Vengeance finally faced Zixith's flagship in single combat, both ships were battered, wrecks. But as the Keltharian vessel's shields failed, Chen opened one final channel. "This is for all 73, she said simply. The explosion lit up the system like a new star. The war ended not with surrender, but with understanding. The surviving Keltharian forces limped home with a message that spread throughout the galaxy. Humans didn't fight for territory or resources or glory. They fought for each other. Research Station Echo 7 was rebuilt within a year, now heavily defended by species from across the galaxy who had heard the legend. A memorial listed 73 names, not as casualties of war, but as the individuals, whose deaths had taught the universe that humanity's greatest weapon wasn't their technology or their tactics. It was their refusal to let anyone be forgotten.